What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Full Metal Analysis. Uh, Playoff weekend just passed. We'll get into the results of that and the matchups for next week. But the key matchup we know is that the Lions are playing the Commanders this week. We can get into that matchup. How you feeling about that matchup, Marcus? Could you ask for anything better?
Oh no, man! Coming into the week, we would have loved to see Green Bay again. I felt like they were a fraudulent team. They have been struggling against decent teams, let alone the Lions. So Green Bay was number one on my list. I really, really, really did not want to play Minnesota or the LA Rams again. So based on how Minnesota performed, in hindsight, maybe we did want to play Minnesota again. But no,
Right?
man.
Yeah.
Going against Washington, it's going to be a great matchup, man, because people were speculating earlier in the year, hypothetically putting the Lions versus the Commanders against each other. The way the Commanders were playing earlier in the year, they slowed down, but towards the end of the season, they kind of just picked it back up again, and they got momentum coming into this game. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch, and I'm interested to see how it goes.
Yeah, man, it's definitely going to be a fun game. Washington is a great team, man, but at the end of the day, I think we just are just a better team. I think we just match up better than Tampa Bay did with Washington. Um, Washington has some tough games. They played the Eagles pretty tough, but I fully expect that if we come out and play our game and the defense steps up like they did last week, there's no way that any team can keep up with us really. So we just got to go out there, do our thing. As long as he's back, that gives me a lot more confidence. Offense got to keep doing what they're doing, no turnovers, and yeah, man, we should go out there and take care of business, man. I'm with you. I really was tired of playing Minnesota and the Rams as well. Um, but like you said, hey, maybe that was a mistake. I mean, the Vikings looked awful, man. But and Green Bay, they went out there, they were fraudulent. I don't know what's going to happen going forward with Green Bay. Jordan Love is going to have to play better if they're going to be a better franchise, and they were missing Christian Watson, but I don't know, man. Every time I think of Green Bay, I think of that meme you sent me where it's like the Avatar, and it's like when you needed Jordan Love to show up, he disappeared.
Going back to the Washington game, man. I was thinking about it and what it's going to look like because when everybody hears you're going to play Washington, first thing that pops into your head, Jayden Daniels, right?
Definitely.
Jayden Daniels put the team on his back against the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay, he did a lot to give him and put him in the opportunity for him to put the game on his back. But at the end of the day, the pressure was on him. And he went out and, won his first playoff game and his first playoff appearance. So props to him. I looked it up, though. And, coming into this year, man, we were talking about Lions versus the scrambling quarterback. And how do the Lions fare against the scrambling quarterback? Because the past couple years, they've really struggled with the running quarterback. So I looked it up, and the top 50 rushers this past season, yards wise, are quarterbacks. I got seven. I think 7 of them were of the top 50. I think 7 of them were quarterbacks. So at number 20 was Lamar Jackson. At number 23 is Jayden Daniels. At 33 is Jalen Hurts, and then the last couple, then the last 4 we played. 36 is Kyler Murray. He had 572 yards. We beat the Cardinals. 41, Josh Allen. He had 531 on the season. We know how that went. 45 is Anthony Richardson. He had 499. And 47, Caleb Williams. We played him twice. So we haven't seen Lamar. We haven't seen Hurts. And we haven't seen Jayden Daniels. But as far as Kyler Murray, Josh Allen, Richardson, and Caleb Williams, we handled all of those except for Josh Allen. And even Josh Allen, the defense just that was all I can say is the defense can never play as bad as they did on that day. They had no answer for Josh Allen. You would think if you saw him again, you would have a better strategy and be more prepared for what he's gonna throw at you, literally and figuratively. But that being said, Kyler Murray, Anthony Richardson, Caleb Williams, none of these guys, torched us on defense. So the idea that the Lions are still struggling against the running quarterback is kind of something that they've done a good job of putting to bed this season.
Yeah, man. I still wouldn't say we perfect around it. I mean, it still gets us. We're better at containing it around the middle, but when the pocket breaks down, quarterbacks tend to slip through the middle with Aleem and Neal not being there. Hopefully, DJ Reader can start plugging that up, and I would like to see AG. Wiley, I know the game plan is to contain, but we kind of got this thing where when we go into running quarterbacks, we like to get pressure and then kind of hold up, you know what I'm saying, and kind of just, like more like a net instead of attacking. We kind of just they kind of rush and then just hold position and make sure he doesn't squeeze out of the pocket. I would like to see more of an attack from AG going after him. I mean, I know that can be dangerous, but that's what your linebackers are for. So, yeah, but we have done way better than what we used to be in against running quarterbacks. I'm not going to say it's not dangerous, but it's definitely not our kryptonite anymore.
So I got an interesting stat about that as well. I was doing some research on Washington, and would you believe that Jayden Daniels versus the blitz all season, he's only thrown one interception, opposed to when he doesn't see a blitz, he's thrown 8 interceptions. So I'm not saying don't blitz him, but it's kind of if you blitz him, you're going to want to get home. I mean, obviously that's the whole reason, but the Lions are great at generating pressure. Aiden Hutchinson might be the greatest pressure generator in NFL, which is why he's great on the Lions. but getting home, we tend to struggle with that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that AG umbrella blanket safety net around the pocket to keep Jayden Daniels in there. It's a frustrating way to play as somebody watching the game, and there's plenty of times where you watch it and you just think, man, if they just went at them, they could get to them, just go after them.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm kind of with you on that, but given that statistic, man, I wouldn't be surprised to see that safety net they'd like to create.
Yeah, man, I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to trust AG. AG's been doing amazing job these last couple of weeks. So whatever you come out with, I'm with it. Go ahead.
The other thing I got is that Commanders. We both know that these are two high scoring offenses, but when it comes to defense, the Commanders. I looked it up. The Commanders allowed 137 yards per game on the ground. That put them at 30th in the NFL. And the Lions, on the flip side, are 5th in the NFL. They only allow 98 rushing yards. So we got the injury report, and David Montgomery was a full participant. So what are your thoughts on that?
It, I'm happy and I'm nervous at the same time. I'm happy that he's back, and I'm glad to see him out on the field. It worries me a little bit about the injury. Will he be able to perform like he was able to perform? Will it downgrade him a little bit? And will he hurt himself? There was a doctor on Woodward that was saying that MCL is not as bad as ACL or PCL, and you are able to play on a MCL. It probably won't it probably won't cause any long term damage, but it does affect your ability to make lateral cuts, and so it makes it harder for you to make lateral cuts. But I'm excited to see what he's gonna do, man. If he can get out there and be that bruiser we know he can be, it just spells nothing but trouble for Washington. So yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about it, man. I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous about it.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm intrigued, man. I think you know I I like Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jahmyr Gibbs did a great job last week, or not last week, but the last time they played. Jahmyr Gibbs looked great out there, had no problem carrying the load. Um, but I would feel more comfortable because it's just, if nothing else, this it's another option out there. It's another option. I assume he'll be just as good, and I presume he's going to be better than what you would get from Craig Reynolds or Jamar Jefferson. So I'm good with that. The point that you made that I do agree with the most is further aggravating that injury. If I'm not mistaken, I think at some point, like you said, you're not necessarily going to aggravate it. It's not common that it's going to get aggravated. You're just not going to be able to move like you would like to. And I'm assuming that the only way to fix it is eventually going to have to get surgery. And I think that's what happened with J.J. McCarthy. Like when he initially injured it, they were kind of on the fence on what he was going to do, what they were going to do with him, and then I think they just shut him down for the year and had him get the surgery. So, yeah, I'm interested to see how he does. If I had to, off the top of my head, I think it's still going to be obviously primarily Jahmyr Gibbs handling the ball. I'm looking at something they're going to use Montgomery. I'm thinking like 9 to 11 carries for Montgomery, and then the rest go to Gibbs. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, man. Montgomery, like to your point, at the end of the day, Montgomery is a dog. So I'm like I said, I am excited to see him back out there. And it is refreshing to get him back out there. I just hope he's. I mean, him being that dog, I know he wants to play, and I just hope that his body lets him do what he wants to do out there, and that's my only concern. So, but I fully expect that for him to be that bruiser that he always is. We may not see him run, break one for 60 yards or anything like that, but in the trenches, no, yeah, I hope to see him, pushing that power back.
The last thing I got on this game is that a little fun fact that I read I thought was interesting was that the Commanders are number 1 in the league as far as putting the ball in play on a kickoff, and the Lions. So it was a small sample size, but the Lions are actually second in the NFL for kick return yards. So I'll be interested to see if maybe Khalif Raymond could try to break one. If nothing else, that's a good sign for the Lions starting in good field position with this new rule. I feel like every time I watch the game with this new rule, whoever gets the ball first marches downfield and always scores. At the very least, a field goal. I don't think I've ever seen anybody punt off the kickoff to start the game. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I mean, I'm skipping ahead to bet it up a little bit, but the line is Lions 9.5. I hope the Lions do win. I hope the Lions cover, but I don't think it's going to be that bad of a blowout. But I think it's going to be a little tighter than that. But I do think the Lions do win this game.
Yeah, for me, man, I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a good game. I think Jayden Daniels can keep the Washington Commanders in it, but I'm with the line, man. I feel like if nothing else, we win by 10. So I'm with Vegas on this one. Another stat I heard was that 4 Lions are negative money to score touchdowns. So Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, St. Brown, and was it Laporta or was it J-Mo?
I would guess it's Laporta. I'll be surprised if it was J-Mo.
I think it's Laporta. Yeah, I think it's Laporta.
Yeah, that's still a lot though. Yeah, that's a lot.
Detroit